Okay. Preview. Okay. All right. I think we might have this. And end stream. Welcome to the live chat. Okay. Chat rate views. And the title. Let's change this. Let's see if I can do that. Delete. Nope. Top chat. Concurrent viewers. Stream settings. Okay, have that. And I want to change the title. Hi guys, I don't know if anybody can hear me, and I'm not even sure if I can figure out how to watch the chat. Golly, if you could leave something in the comments, I don't know if I could. Hi Ken, can you hear me at all? Hi Dale, can you hear me? I'm trying to get my microphone to work. All right, now. Oh, fabulous. All right. So the next thing that I was going to do, Ken, I appreciate that. What I'm going to do now is set aside my keyboard and grab my drawing things and start doing some live drawing. But I need to find a place over here to set my laptop. And I'm a little bit cluttered because I found some extra pastels that I didn't even remember having in the cupboard. And I was checking out all the stuff that I found. When I first began working with pastels, I was in our solarium, and it was very bright and very hot in the afternoon. And so when we built the garage and changed the old garage to my now studio, then I moved everything. And I'm glad I did because it's not beastly at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, so I'm going to move this laptop right now and show you where's the picture I was going to work on? Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Okay. Let's see if we can make this work or not. And let's move this over. Sorry for the delay. I am still, the non-techie is still trying very hard to figure things out and get it all worked out here. Now, let me see what I can do. And I have to be able to make sure that the view that you guys have shows what I'm drawing. And so there we go. Now I'm going to move this. Oh, there we are. Try that. This is my pastel matte paper. This is a dark blue, and I've put it on a white backer board with a little help from double-sided sticky tape. And my subject matter today is radar has requested a new movie spoof. He asked quite a while back, and this time the movie spoof is Men in Black, the movies, Men in Black 1, 2, 3. And the little flashy thingy that they have, the neuralizer, he wants to be holding one of those. So it wouldn't shock me at all to see if he's already acquired one. But right now, I just wanted to show you kind of the process of what I'm going to be doing and how. These are my pastel matte pencils. Let me show you the collection. This is Carbothello. That's what I work with because it's vibrant colors that blend well. And so my collection runs the gamut. When I start on a Ponte portrait, usually I will pick a light gray like this. And this is one of the lightest grays that I have. And kind of get an outline, and then I will use some larger pastel pencils that I have over here on my table with the orange, and continue applying grays in the right locations, light and shadow. But let me see if I can set some things aside here and show you kind of the process from start to finish. I have on my screen, and I don't know if I can show you or not. Yeah, I guess I can. Just bring it back over here for a moment. An image of Will Smith with a neuralizer. And that's my model for at least the neuralizer, because I couldn't remember exactly what they looked like. So we're going to set that aside and use that kind of an image to portray our old buddy Radar. And when I get started with this, sometimes I have to portion out what I am wanting to do first. And so for me, the Ponte's fingers are still hard. They are. And they are each of our joints in our fingers, our knuckles. Theirs are twice as long as ours are. And I'm going to see what I can do about giving a little Ponte hand here to a neuralizer with the right kind of knuckle length. That's I can't say that their fingers are twice as skinny as ours, but they're skinny. They really are. If I think about the slenderness of their fingers, I suppose if you took a third of the width of our fingers away and made them twice as long, you'd be pretty close. All right, so here's kind of what I'm roughing in. The good thing about pastels is that they erase, guys. Thank goodness they do, because it saves my butt from having to worry about things too much, and I can correct and make mistakes. So here's kind of what I'm thinking. This little flashy thing, this neuralizer. I gotta hold it in hands and wrap fingers around it. So let me see if I can get this portrayed a little bit. This little thingy had ridges, if I remember right. And it does in my picture, and it's about, yay long. The old style were round. I looked at a picture yesterday of a neuralizer, and it was kind of flat on top and had a turquoise blue light. The one that I'm using is gray, but it has a red light. And so I'm just kind of roughing that in. And you saw I made a mark on my paper there that I didn't mean to. That's okay, because by the time I color this in and add the background, then everything works out. So let me get my lines going here for my little flashy thingy. My neuralizer. Here we go. Now, have to get a proportion of Radar's head and neck in here. And that's not always easy. And the easiest way for me to do it is to actually start with a chin. And I'm going to center it kinda, but his head is a little tilted. So we're going to go like this. Ponti have slender chins. They can have fuller faces, but very, very slender chins. And so their chin protrusion, a little bit of fatty part of the chin underneath the skin, is not very big, about that big. So then my lower lip, and again very slender, is right about there. And the upper lip, very slender, is right about there. When I think about the nostrils, again, tiny and not spaced far apart. Noses are small. And nostrils, likewise. And then top of the nose, kinda. Let's see here. That might be a little bit big. We're gonna see if I need to change that. But before we do that, I want to kind of get a better feel for where the eyes would normally be, because that'll help me with placement of the dark sunglasses that the men in black wear. All right, so a little bit higher. All right, now, so if their eyebrows are right about there, whenever you think about the temple of someone, it's and their eyes are approximately this size. Okay. Then the temple, it curves in and curves out. And with the cheekbone, it curves out and it curves in. Oops. Might be a little big. All right. Temple. Curves out. Come on. And cheeks. And then. So that's kind of the approximate placement that I've got going on. Now, seems to me like Will Smith, toward the end of the movie, had different glasses than he had at the beginning of the movie. And so I'm going to look at both pairs and find the ones that look better and are more stylish. And we'll handle the Ponti's large eyes first. And of the two styles, I think I kind of like the style that he adopted in a later film, or at the end of the first movie, and I'm not quite sure when, but here we are. So, here we are. And the one thing about eyes and glasses and sunglasses is if you goof up and have different sizes of lenses on each side, people pick up on it real fast and it just doesn't look right. So by the time I'm done, even though I've got this a little bit in white or light gray right now, we're gonna make sure that we got sunglasses that make our friend Radar look good. All right, so here we are. That leaves the neck. Ponti have another vertebrae in their neck. That accounts for the longer, skinnier neck than what we have. And then, of course, they've got the typical men in black, white shirt, black tie, black suit. Let me see what I have for white to rough in that white suit. Do I have one that's sharpened? Yes, I sure do. I searched and searched for a long time to find whites that were bright and didn't dull down, even on dark paper. And Primo makes a 59W pastel pencil that is this way. I'm just noticing that Radar's mouth is a little bit crooked here, so we're gonna. And then before we're done, I try very hard to add just a little bit of that Radar lightheartedness, goofiness, smile, if you will. All right, here we go. And if you're writing to me in the comments, forgive me, I've got a picture up on my screen that makes me not view the comments, and I'll check it in just a little bit. But I wanted to make sure and get the white collar, and then let's get this down. The neuralizer will prevent some of that. And this collar needs to come all the way down. Just like I looked and looked and looked for whites, I looked and looked and looked for good blacks too. And again, I have tried a number of them. This is a charcoal pencil instead of a pastel pencil. And so it, let's see if I can get this collar. Going here. When you have a suit coat, you got a little bit of space between the collar and the of the suit coat and the collar. There we go, of the white shirt. So here we are. And here is the other side of this. See my little white line that was a mistake? Well, it's going to get covered up by black in just a little bit here. And let me hint at the top of that tie. The Men in Black black tie. Right above the fingers. And then let me see here. A lot of you are probably wondering about this set of glasses. Okay. Try and get them equal on each side. Here we go. And there. All right, now. There we are. I gotta look and see if I'm doing this equal. And it slanted up just a little bit. And then came up. All right. All right, so I'm just, again, getting things approximate right now, and we'll correct when I can. And then nostrils are almost right in line with the sides of the nose here. Yeah, that gives me an idea of that. And let's see if we can get this middle of the mouth going good here. All right, now I'm gonna check your messages in the chat if I can. What do I think he's up to wanting one of these? Ken is asking. It's Radar. If it's neat, if it's science fiction oriented, if it's a hero in a story instead of the villain, if it allows him to collect interesting toys like neuralizers, then he's all about it. Radar got assigned observing our movies and TV shows that dealt with the subjects of extraterrestrials, so that the Ponte and the Federation could kind of keep their finger on the pulse of what's going on with the emotional attitude of the public toward extraterrestrials based on the movies. And so he literally sends reports of movies into Commander Chilcom, who then forwards on the information. And here's our suit coat here. Now, I'm just indicating to myself where I need to have full black so that I don't forget. And not that I would with Men in Black. All right, I'm looking here to see how balanced we are. And what I'm seeing is a little bit difference left than right. And there we go. Needed to be a little bit wider there. Now, sunglasses, reflective lens. If my light source is coming down from this direction, then the reflection from the light source is going to be up here. So we're just going to do a simple curve right now. And then that reflection usually would be on the top edge of the sunglasses, like that. And probably a little bit of the nose piece. And on the inside edge of the opposite side, like that. So again, sunlight coming down from this direction, or light source, not sunlight necessarily. And then same thing with the skin. You put highlights with white or light where you're going to get the angle of the light source in the face a little bit more. All right, so this side of the face and the forehead will get a little bit lighter than this bottom side. And the same thing goes true with the neck. So this side of the neck will be lighter and the other side will be darker. This side of the white shirt will be brighter. And this side a little bit more in shadow. We'll kind of indicate the midline here of Radar's neck, just like that, and fix it in just a minute. Now, in order for my flashy thing to have some kind of reflection, I need to think about where the light source hits it. And so here's the reflection on the top edge, and maybe a little bit over here with the edge of where that little red light is. All right. And then this side of the neuralizer would be reflected more than the other side. Come on, Sue, straight lines, please. Here we are. And I got a little bobble in there. I might need to get a straight edge to get that better. We'll see how I do. Most of the time I can draw straight lines fairly well. Now, the neuralizer is going to be brighter on this portion of it, on this side. So let me remind myself of that. And the ridges and the top edge of this little place where they hold it. And then the other side is still going to be a silvery tone. So I'm going to have to get some gray and add to my, and there we go. I'll get some red for the middle of my neuralizer light here. It's kind of an orange red originally, so I'm going to pick kind of a bright orange red. Let's see how this one comes out. Oh, that's not bad. For a neuralizer, that's not bad at all. There's a little line in the neuralizer like this. So we're just going to add that in. And then the gray, need darker gray on the opposite side. So this is kind of a medium. And then the paper itself is kind of a dark blue, but I still need to find something that's going to work. See how I've got a darker gray yet? Let me add one more side of gray or tone of gray here and a little bit of a shadow. There we are. So again, let's rough this in. Because I have a dark gray as a shadow, I'm going to add shadows where I really need to. And this side of Radar's neck, like that. There are warm grays and there are cool grays. Most of the time I will use a cool gray unless they are in a nice warm light source. All right, so bottom side of the fingers where they bend, and this knuckle edge. Then if we have a second finger here, and again, knuckle edge where it bends, and here's where it's here. We'll add some knuckle darkness in a little bit. Okay, and around the shirt collar, there's always a shadow. Doesn't have to necessarily be black, but dark. Radar, where do we have shadows in your face here? Let's try adding some on this side. All right, under the mouth, under the center of the nose, on this side of the upper mouth area. There we go. This side, and then of course going up the side of the face on either side of the nose. And let's darken this in a little bit. And then I will take some of my bigger grays and fill some of that in along with black. Because we're dealing with men in black, I think what I'll do is show you my nice big, wide, fill things in quickly, dark black. Looky here. Good stuff, Maynard. So, again, soft pastels. I looked and looked and looked to find really good blacks. So, and this one is a nice one. So we'll just give those fingers a little birth and do first his collar down here. See that? And then the Men in Black official suit coat. There. Now, I know it looks like I'm scribbling. Don't worry. I will take a blending stump, that I'll show you in a moment, and blend these in. But I got to be careful about not getting this flashy thingy messed up here. Here we are. Finish the other side of the suit coat. Hello, Lulu. I'm just glancing occasionally at the chat. Hi, Riley, yeah. Abbott Hoffman. Telepathy can happen on LSD if you're so inclined. Believe it or not, I wouldn't even know what it looks like. I have never, ever had any kind of experience with hard stuff like that. It's not my thing. And I've never found the need, because the clairvoyance that I naturally have has been so clear. It's plenty. I don't need any more help with the telepathy, believe it or not. All right, so having a teacher, there we go. Do you see that? Nice, huh? So we'll leave our little white patch for the reflection. There we go. Yeah, gonna have to beef it up. I have white that's big like this also to rival my black. And I'll get that out in just a little bit as soon as I kind of rough in. The official, I make these look good, Men in Black sunglasses. We had Kevin Estrella over to our house from Canada for a week. He's been a good friend and a huge promoter of the Ponties since about 2016. And the Ponty have changed his life like they have ours. Now, where's a white? Is that white? Ooh, this is my homemade white. I have learned to make my own chalk. And what I found is that when you make your own chalk at home, oftentimes it can be very soft. And what do I mean? I mean it comes out bright, soft, and just like that. See how bright that is? But let me get my neuralizer enhanced here. There we go. And the reflection on the top of the neuralizer. And the collar. Oh my goodness. What you hear in the background faintly is my walkie-talkie. I didn't turn it off before I started filming. I could have. But it's become a new part of our touch-based system when I go into the garden or when I'm in the studio. Otter cannot hear me. And so we got a piece of equipment that allowed that to happen a little bit easier so that I don't have to yell to him. I just pick up the walkie-talkie and hold down the call button, and he knows that I'm trying to reach him. Here we go. Now, again, I will blend that in, but see how bright that is? Ah. So, now, let's get some grays so that Radar's skin tone is not as much the same color of the paper. And what I need is to get a nice light gray and a medium gray and darker from my little box over here. Ooh, there's my big blending stump. Good. This is what I mean by a blending stump. It's a rolled up wad of paper, and if it gets really dirty, you can peel off layers of it. And it allows me to have a different blending surface than just my fingers. You can use a brush, you can use your fingers, you can use any size blending stump. This is another one for fine little details. But let me show you what I mean by the idea that I can smooth it out and get it to fill in a little bit easier. And again, this is just rough draft number 1. When I do portraits, it is not out of the realm of possibility to have 10 drafts from beginning to end. 10 logical stopping places that, and 10 times where I set it out on my art altar and correct it or allow corrections. Sometimes the corrections will come from the Ponty, sometimes they'll come from Otter, sometimes whoever else is in the house will look and see what's going on. All right. So, you see this white line that's underneath here and some of these others, they will slowly go away as I add more gray. So let's see what we can do about that. I added some of the darker gray on the other side of the neck. It was a warm gray. So let me add in kind of a medium. And then here's my lighter big gray. And this is a soft pastel, not an oil pastel, just a soft pastel. When I make my own, it's calcium carbonate and binding agent. And let's see, for white, I use titanium white. And there's one other powder in there. The binding agent is xanthan gum with a little bit of water added, so it's a little bit more dilute. And again, this is the bright side of where you're going to get the lightest skin tones. Come on. And then I will slowly blend it with something that's more medium. And I'll use the blending stuff to do that to get something better. All right, so here's the side of the head. And again, that bright white top. See there? And let's see, the other side. There's a little bit of a puff ridge of extra fat or tissue under the skin just above where our eyebrow ridge would be, and then their foreheads in this general area tend to have just a little bulge, a little protrusion, not rounded, but not flat, not indented. All right, so Rembrandt lighting says on this opposite side you put a little bit of a triangle. And again, light, and then I will use things to... All right, so now I'm going to grab the medium gray and start adding in a little bit more, and then we'll see how my blending skills are today. All right. Oh, does Radar sneak a peek? Or does he sneak a peek? Radar, depends on the time of day, Ken. At this time of day, most days, Monday through Friday for sure, they are prepping in the hangar bay, getting their ships ready for the night shift and going visiting. Radar is training a crew right now in protocols, and that's scary, isn't it? So he's in the hangar bay with his trainees in teaching mode and helping, making them do some of the prep work and going through the checklist on Delta Dawn. All right, so I'm gonna start with just kind of a medium tone in the fingers and then lighten the top edge. There we go. And let's see here. We're getting there. For first draft, we're not doing too bad, are we? You liking it so far? So let me take, because I started with a black in my blending sump and I still have a black part, I'm going to catch this collar and the shadow on between the fingers, and a little bit of the shadow under the neck, like that. And so will Radar sneak a peek if he's off duty and free? And yeah, absolutely he will. He will pop over here and oftentimes bring the trainees. Our home, we have asked the Ponte to allow the newest trainees who are still learning how to visit Earth Human homes. There we go. Let's get a little bit of shadow over here. Shadow at the bottom of the nose. Here, under the lip, on this side. Let's pick up a little more black. Shadow over here. Sometimes I cheat and just borrow a little extra darkening stuff. Let's see here. Let's darken down a little bit more. Whoops, come here. I don't want him to look like he's a chimney sweep, but at the same time, we got to get some texture going in the skin and shadow going in the right places. All right, so now let's see here. I need to change parts of the blending stuff. I got blue on there. I'm going to see if I can get that cleaned off. I keep several towels with me. If I've got to clean a blending stump, they're darker towels like this brown one versus white towels like my kitchen towel here. But I can rub most of this off. You can peel it off. You can use a sharpener and grind it off or sand it off with some sandpaper. But I'm pretty simple and find that it blends pretty good if I simply wipe it and then go at it again. It'll pick up the new color that I'm working with. And so I find a place where light and shadow are meeting a little bit better. There we go. That's not bad. Chin needs to be a little bit brighter. Let's borrow some from here. Let's borrow some from up here too. There we go. Top of the forehead. So, Raider is not always known for his patience. Grayson, on the other hand, is all about a long play joke. I mean, sometimes he'll set up a joke and it'll take months to set up so that he executes it the way he wants. There we go. Now let's try this other side. Again, Rembrandt says a little triangle on the cheek is all we need. And, all right, now, let's get this light over the eyebrow. Ta-da! Ta-da! Thank you for all the people who are watching and visiting or just kind of hanging out in the chat and listening to me talk about the Ponti and drawing them. When I first started drawing Commander Teal'c, it was the first portrait that I had done in 40 years. Yeah. I had done a few elementary, crude, rudimentary portraits in high school and then not picked it up again at all. I had always been fascinated by pastel artists because I enjoyed watching the process. And so the Bob Ross painting stuff I've watched, and I watched another artist really working. Oh, I need a little bit of white, and I don't want to mar the white in the suit. What am I going to do? I'm going to clean off another blending stump. I wish I had a brand new one, but I got to get another set. And let's see if I've cleaned this enough to deal with the white. Try it on the flashy thing first. Well, that's not bad. Let's try the collar. Yeah. Okay. Let's try this side. Okay, so now I'm not going to touch the sunglasses yet. Now I can take a little bit more gray that's lighter and highlight these areas a little more. And I think I've got a shade in the kind of dark side of the flashy thing, the neuralizer, a little bit better. Like that. Just add a little bit of black. And like that, like that. Kind of that way. A little more shadow around the collar of the official Men in Black white shirt. White. A little bit more of a crisp line there. Blend this in a little bit more, and then I'm going to take my skinny blending stump and blend this shadow. Soften it just a little bit. There we go. Oh, we're coming along here for quick first rough draft. This isn't doing too bad. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take me to get things set up and how successful I would be because, again, not techie. New to streaming, new to doing any of this, and one of the advantages, one of the things that we changed is we had a little bit of a situation with our router and our phone line recently, and so I changed providers. There, there, there. You get a little bit of a, but I'm going to add just a little bit there. It's hard when you've got a big piece of chalk doing tiny little details. I should really have done that with a pencil instead. Now, let's see if we can blend this in. What are we going to use? We're going to use our little stump. And if I go over something and I have erased or darkened down or lightened up something that I did a mistake or colored outside the lines, blended something wrong, I can always go over it in another layer on top of it. This is one advantage of pastels over other media. You have the ability to erase. We talked about that earlier. And you also have the ability to do things in layers. It's one of the few media where I can have a dark background and use a white on top of it, and the white still stands out pretty good. All right, now I think I may have gotten this cheek a little dark. We'll find out. Let's see here. And I think I need to darken the side of the neck over here a little bit better. This white line here I want gone. So let's see what we're going to do. All right. All right, there we go. That's whiten right there. And getting there. Now, one thing I've noticed is I've got sides of the temples on one side and not the other, and I'm looking at the top edge of my glasses. I may have to measure and get that. That's a little better. Now, take this, get a little bit better line. There you go. Gotta attach and go back against the forehead somehow. Now, I feel like I need to bring this cheekbone out just a little bit better. See if we can blend that right. All right, here we go. And again, not quite satisfied with this side of the cheek here. That's a little better color. There we go. If anybody is interested in buying this after we get it all finished, let me know. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. We'll find out. I have this kind of little thin black that's actually willow charcoal. Willow tree branches, long straight pieces that provide me with a softer black, not a hard black. All right, now, mouth. There you go, buddy. Oops. Let's get a little bit better here. Now, we talked about Radar's grin and Radar's personality coming out in the picture. I don't ever want to do a portrait of anybody. Not animal, not Sasquatch, not Ponte, not Earth human, where I don't have their personality come out. And so I need to find a way, get a little bit of that radar grin just hinted at in there. See how I turn up that just final edge of the mouth. Right there. That's that radar personality coming out now. Oh. Get radar signature and you'll take it? Hey, Ken, if I get radar signature, I'll take it. It'll be hung up on my wall. Let's see here. I'm going to add a little bit lighter in the cheek again. And a little bit lighter on this side. You guys are troopers for sticking around and watching this whole process. I appreciate it. I've been putting out a few archaeoplanetography video shorts and other shorts lately. I'm trying to remember to put things on Facebook and Instagram and videos on TikTok and things on Twitter, of course. And between taking care of myself, taking care of Otter, doing meals, getting the garden finished up and ready, or doing daily gardening rather, not finished up and ready. It's work every day, but I can't do it by myself. We have fabulous helpers in Indian One's family. I work with his wife in the garden because she is an avid gardener like I am, and then Indian One's son, Dale Jr., or Dale B, as in Alpha Beta, is a huge help with a lot of things. And he's become a wonderful person that can chauffeur when Otter and I can't drive somewhere easily. Our night driving has changed. And so if we want somebody to take us somewhere in the evening, and we know we're going to be coming in after dark, we see if he's available or not. Okay. All right, now, fingers. Yep. They're tricky. There's just no question about it. So what I'm doing is kind of roughing in the color for the top of the finger. And then I will make the ends where the knuckles are a little bit more distinctive. And let me see what I can do with the blending stump. Just smooth this out. Can you see that? I hope I'm holding this because I'm not looking at my monitor all the time. I'm just glancing up at it. I'm trying to kind of keep track of what's going on with all of you in the chat. I'm briefly going over things there and then trying to focus on my paper at the same time here. All right. This bulge down here in the neuralizer I want to correct. And I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. And then also, you see how there's a real similar tone between the cheekbone and the dark blue background. It's not a lot different in value and darkness. And so what I want to do is, here, come here, a little bit more bulk here. Oop, lighter gray. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Trying to keep things balanced with my light and shadow up here. Okay, so let's blend this in and then see where we stand with this rough draft. I'm watching my time because I was hoping to knock off and get some supper made before 6. And so I'm going to find a good stopping place for rough draft number 1. And let's see here. There we are. I can see I need to blend this area a little bit more. There we go. Come on. Okay. Let's see here. Sometimes you use my hands. Sometimes I'll stick with the blending stump. If it's a tiny spot, my fat fingers will not be right. So, okay. Here we go. Let me highlight just the top of these knuckles just a little bit more. And then darken the bottom. There. And let's gonna go dark with the darker gray first, and then blend it into something that's a light charcoal gray with that little willow charcoal. I think that'll work better. Let's see what we got here. Let's just rough in the bottom edge. All right. All right, now. And let's get a little bitter black on this side of the flashy thingy. There we go. Okay. How do you like Radar's just slight upturned granite just at the sides here? Oop, careful there, Sue. I have some things like this Men in Black glasses that I need to correct. I see that I don't have an evident top of the tie there. That super dark black helps. And probably need to smooth out the fabric and see if there's there we go. Light and shadow there. For a first draft, he's not too bad. There are some correction things to do here, clearly. And we'll need to pick a better color background. Oh, what will we do? What will we do? I think what I'd like to do is something kind of vague. Let me think about this for a little bit. I may add some green and darker shades here. I want the flashy thing to stand out. I want Radar to stand out. And not that they would need a neuralizer. I think that their telepathic prowess makes it so that that's not exactly necessary. I wonder if my little black... where did you go? My little black willow. There it is. Might help with the side of his face and the shadow over here. That's a little better. I don't want him to have chipmunk cheeks, so Radar's cheeks will probably become a little more trim when I get the background in and the right shading. Same thing over here. It's a little bit on the chipmunky side for me, but can be corrected. All right. Rough draft number 1. Radar, Men in Black with a neuralizer. What do you think? Let me know for anybody who's watched this video what your take is on the process and suggestions for corrections. I would surely appreciate. I'm going to sign off for now and let this mull for a little bit and see what kind of comments Radar himself has later, whenever he's free. But he usually likes to mug for the camera and likes having his portrait done. So this is Sue Walker signing off on how to draw the Pontee and our old pal Radar. Another movie spoof portrait. This one, Men in Black with a neuralizer. Thanks for tuning in. Anytime you like and subscribe or share, it helps the good old algorithms, and I really appreciate it very much. So I will let you be, and until next time, thanks. Bye-bye.